What is going on, everybody? It's your boy John, and welcome back to GearBocks. So today we're back in the truck. Gotta keep it rolling, right? We did the kind of brief overview. Now we had the headlight install, which I do have a little bit of an update for you on the headlights, by the way, before we get started with this. So with the install of the headlights, I mean, obviously you saw the video. Basically what's happening, and I think it's because this truck did not come with a DRL module to begin with, I'm having some trouble getting that to work out correctly. I've seen a couple different suggestions or, ideas, but I don't know. I think the easiest way to go about it is to get like a add a fuse DRL harness type of deal. But I just need to make sure I get the right one. So other than that, though, the headlights are phenomenal. I absolutely love them. I think they look great. So just wanted to give you kind of an update there. But as far as today's video, what I wanted to talk about is the infamous 5 things I love about this truck. There's a lot to love. There's a lot to maybe consider on other trucks, if you will. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Number one thing that I love about this truck is the 3.5 liter V6 EcoBoost engine. So to give a little background, really my family's always been more of a GM family. I don't know that my parents really give a shit. It's just kind of what they gravitated toward. Long story short, the only Ford they ever owned was like a 2003 Expedition. So obviously 20 years later, there have been a lot of changes, one of which being the engine platform. The 3.5 liter V6, in my opinion, is going to be the best engine for your, let's call it, pavement princess truck, while still having the capability to tow, to off-road, to do all this sort of stuff, but primarily you're just commuting or going to the grocery store, that type of stuff. The twin turbo on this engine is phenomenal. I definitely am going to add an intake on the truck, just kind of wake it up a little bit and get those things, compressing more air. But to be honest with you, it's a great engine. It sounds great. It has the low end torque. It has the high end horsepower. All in all, it's a great engine. All right, so number 2 on the list here is going to be payload / towing capacity. So I'm not necessarily going to be towing day in and day out, or doing anything crazy with this truck more often than not. But I still want to be able to tow our boat, for example, tow our jet skis, go to Home Depot and load the shit out of the bed of the truck, stuff like that, where, really Ford has the edge over like a comparable Silverado, for example. And that was something to me where, I looked at Silverados, I really looked at everything, and I just kind of landed on Ford. The only thing I didn't look at was Dodge, because I hate Dodge Rams. That's a whole nother thing. I hate them. I don't know, but anyway, we landed on Ford. But payload and towing capacity was huge. And part of that is the fact that I misspoke in my first video on this truck. This does not have a 5'7" bed. This has a 6'7" bed. And on a crew cab truck like this sucker is long, okay? But obviously having a larger bed, having that surface area to pack down and put that weight over the axles is going to increase your payload, your towing capacity, etc. So I'm all here for having a much larger bed than I originally expected. But without further ado, let's get on to number 3. All right, guys, we are all loaded up with groceries for the week. Yeah, I went grocery shopping Sunday morning, ass crack of dawn. It's what I do. Gotta beat the rush. Anyway, number 3 on the list is going to be the amount of interior room in this truck. Long story short, this thing is huge, and I know I just mentioned it in the number 2 spot as far as payload and stuff, but that's not just the bed of the truck, it's the truck in general. I don't know how well y'all can see back there. If I didn't have you on the windshield, I would show you, but I mean, there's, you know how most people, like, you know, you get in the back seat, whether it's a truck, car, crossover, whatever, and you have people in the, like, full adults in the back seat, and everyone that's in the front seat, like, has to scoot their chair up. No, these could be all the way back, and you've still got a good, like, 6 inches of room from your knees. I mean, it's crazy, but that's good for 2 reasons, right? One is obviously just big guys fitting in the back, road trips, whatever. It's just going to be a little more comfortable. But 2 is the fact that that back seat, all 3 of them, can actually flip up, like, vertically, and so you can put some massive shit in the back seat of the truck and have it lay flat on the ground. I don't know why I like that so much, but I do. So you're just gonna have to live with it. But anyway, that would be number 3, is the large amount of interior room. All right, everyone, so number 4 on the list here, and I probably should have talked about it right after talking about the engine. We're gonna talk about fuel economy for number 4. So for those who are unaware, the fuel economy in this truck is, I believe, maybe 17 in the city and low 20s on the highway, or maybe low to mid 20s on the highway. Now, you might be saying, well, John, it's a truck, like, you know, you don't get a truck for fuel economy, which is totally valid. I completely agree. But it's also a nice benefit if you have good fuel economy when you're not expecting to have good fuel economy, or expected to have good fuel economy when you're a truck. And once again, this is going to go a lot back to the 3.5 liter V6, obviously, right? But it's just the idea, I don't know. I love it, but I cannot believe that big old, you know, American trucks and all this shit are starting to prefer lower displacement engines with single or twin turbo. I just find that very funny. Now, obviously, I love it. Y'all know me. I'm a whore for a good, you know, turbocharged vehicle, but it's just so funny because, you know, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years ago, it's, oh, America, you know, displacement, there's no replacement for displacement, let's tow some shit. Well, what they find out very quickly is that you can still tow some shit, you just are getting better fuel economy, which is very funny to me. I don't know, it is what it is, but I really do, you know, like the engine platform. I appreciate the fuel economy because this will turn into my kind of road trip type of vehicle. I will also be taking this to, like, customers and stuff for work, just because, God forbid anything happened to, like, the air suspension or something and I look like a fucking idiot, you know, trying to take out a customer. We're just gonna go with a lifted pickup truck. Anyway, speaking of lifted pickup trucks, to the 5th and final point, what I want to talk about and kind of why I love the F-150 platform is the aftermarket potential that exists, right? As we are all well aware, the Ford F-150 is not a new, you know, thing or idea. The F-150 has been around the block. There's one, Dodge, okay. Either way, what I'm saying is, this is not, 2019 was not the first model year of the F-150. It's not. I believe it's been around for somewhere around the idea of like 40 years. Maybe long, well, you know, obviously like F-100s and stuff like that, but either way, it's been around a long time, and because of that, every single aftermarket, you know, truck aftermarket part company, they have shit for F-150s, and that is great, just knowing that, one, as far as like pricing and stuff, it's probably not going to be horrible, but two is for the channel. Like, there's so much shit we can do to this truck. I've been looking, and I'm overwhelmed at the amount of shit that we can potentially do to this truck. And it is what it is. So yeah, it's honestly got me really excited to, you know, work on this truck and make it our own, because there's so much potential. And not that I see this as a good thing, but like, there's so many different types of trucks you can build, which is crazy. Like, you know, I guess the one I'm not super thrilled on necessarily are like SEMA trucks. But like, the fact that you can do that, like, I would have never thought that SEMA trucks were actually possible with legitimate aftermarket companies. Like, I would have thought that was people custom fabricating shit left and right, which obviously that's a part of it, but just the idea that you can sit there and have some crazy ass truck with all this lighting and this, that, and the other, blah 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 blah, and it's all fully supported aftermarket parts, that's crazy to me. And obviously Ford F-150s are and will always be a part of you know, the aftermarket catalogs there. Anyway, guys, that's kind of all I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Obviously, you know, now that I've had a couple weeks with the truck, I wanted to get this video out to you guys and just kind of give you my true, you know, unedited type of response to what I feel about the F-150 and why I love it. And I think this truck would fit the majority of molds that people are going to, I guess, kind of try to fit in with or whatever, as far as a truck you're looking for. I think the F-150 is awesome. It's got great looks. I mean, obviously I wasn't going to talk about that because that's, you know, subjective, but yeah, it's a phenomenal truck. I love it to death. I think the trim I have right here has a perfect amount of technology, but also not being too overbearing with technology, which is nice. But anyway, if y'all like the video, please give this video a big fat thumbs up. As always, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, be active in the comments down below. Maybe there's some stuff that I missed as far as good, positive things about the you know, Ford F-150. Maybe you have some different opinions. Drop them down below. But either way, guys, once again, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see y'all next week, and until that time, peace.